So here we are with episode 12 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Last episode was really nice to be able to explore Catra's side and how she perceived Adora, so really enjoyed that episode overall. And according to the title of this episode, we're going to be talking with Lighthope, I would presume. And we'll just have to see how Adora gets over Catra tossing her aside, I suppose. We'll just have to see. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon in early access on the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. The sword's just right back on her, right on her back again. It's like a magnet.
I watched you grow up from afar.
It's kind of creepy, honestly.
I've been.
But if it does not suit you, I will choose another.
She's, oh my god, she's an AI.
Allow me to select a new form that you will find.
No, I think the current form is fine. Yeah. Always like characters that are a little robotic, but like they don't understand human customs. Very fun. Nope. Damn, that's affecting her even more. Is this just because she's angry? You? Well, you can't fucking go out.
There's something here to see you.
Something here. It's Emily. Oh no, it's fucking Swift Horsey.
I am my own horse.
Oh shit, he learned English. This is just the magnificent version of Donkey.
And be back before my mom even realizes we're gone. Coming to see why my god was escorting a horse into Get going if you want to track down Adora.
Oh.
Stop us?
Well, she can't stop you anyways.
Told you I regretted giving up. I will not consign you to the same regrets.
Wow. Oh. Yeah, I was wondering, is the horse gonna...
I'd like to talk about freeing all the horses. I think that's serious. Hey, I'm talking to the queen!
Damn, man's advocating for horse rights out here, dude.
Catra! You got my note. The one you dropped on my head from the air vent that says,
Come to my land. You've seen the man. You know, I want to see Scorpia's handwriting.
I'm going to need you to try again. Scorpia seems like she understands.
No, I think she's just...
Is drawing
It's like Patrick.
And I think it's clear. Come on. I mean, I'm a bit of an artist.
I looked at the rock.
Wait, do I have to explain?
Map to you.
This could change everything.
Everything is in what?
That's the planet.
Oh my god.
We're the first one.
It went... Damn, right into the core?
They built this place for you.
The Crystal Cat. What are you, Superman? The shit?
There have been many before you, but the line was broken.
No.
She-Ra,
Oh my god, she is kind of like Korra, except the disconnection wasn't her fault.
only then can balance be restored to a theory.
So that means that she also needs to bring Scorpia on her side?
But the thing is, you are correct.
Is great.
Which means there are best access points to the planet.
Damn, what a... Yo, is this whole thing a Matrix? Yeah, hacking the planet and everything?
You have a runestone?
Yes.
Stone has a runestone?
Duh. It was my family.
It was my family's.
Gave it to Hordak.
Who gave his Shadow Weaver? Oh! So it was her... Okay.
Has a power source? Has a weapon? Potentially. But if it's like my other experiments, the results will be explosive.
Good! Want to drop a nuke bomb on these people.
Shadow Weaver won't like it.
But I will. Uh-oh, that's one of Hordax's, baby. Oh, just a robot.
And I can't wait to hear more. Just one
I
Do not understand. I can start again.
can start again.
I am Light Hope. Her connection with her runestone
was disrupted. Okay, so since we're talking about the runestone. And that's the whole thing about healing and restoring balance.
How long will this training take? Like a day or
Years.
years? Kuma doesn't have years.
That's why we're in this crystal castle, right?
So captured and entrapped. It's my fault.
Yes, your mission is to save the planet.
My mission is to help my friends.
Well, if you save the planet, you save your friends.
You are distracted by your attachment.
Attachment.
One before you who could not let go.
Mara. So that's what Raz was talking about. Madam Raz. Madam Raz is Mara.
Mara was the last Shira before you.
Wait, you said you haven't been in 1,000 years. How old is Raz?
Alright, hurry it up. Those machines aren't going to hook up themselves.
No?
Did you really think you could invade my...
Oh, but here's Catra standing up to Shadow Weaver.
You back in your place.
Emily's like, I want to see this.
Absurd. By whose authority?
By mine.
Oh.
Gave Force Captain Catra and her team my blessing to go ahead.
Of course.
My lord, you're really going to let this princess tinker with my runes?
Well, it was Scorpia's.
She gets to tinker,
With whatever she wants.
including the Black Garnet, which is mine to give or take.
I suppose that's what he said, like, I gave you the power, so it's the Black Garnet. Oh, got a little recharge out here.
That's right, run away! It's the only thing you've ever been good at!
Mmm.
You've learned nothing from me!
I think she's learned. Yeah, I think she's learned a few things.
You were training me for this day.
For when I take you out. Oh, there goes her power. Because it's right at the middle.
If you would.
Everybody's over like, you can do it! Oh, dude, that, like, spinal thing on the crystal. It's like a ladder, actually. Oh, all the shadow that was... Was that Entraptor going, ha?
I realize I'm free, but the other horses aren't.
Yeah, horse rights!
And left to go kick down stable doors.
St-
Freedom, equality, and hay for all!
Wow. Uh-oh.
Get behind me.
Oh, they're all running towards the light? The red light, or...
I feel something. We should run. No. Adora, then run.
conflict.
Bad thing. Hurry.
Gotta get Adora first.
What does that mean? It means things are getting interesting.
Just me, or is it really cold?
Oh, now it's suddenly snowing. My god.
That's impossible. It never snows in the Whispering Wood.
Oh no, it's global warming. The bad thing. Damn, is it like just hitting right into the Whispering Wood? Ah, the other light that is shining. Okay. Since he's also got power of the first ones, essentially. Alright, time to find her all the way where she is. She's fallen quite deep. Ran for a while in here.
Adora, we're here. Wake up.
Oh, she was just here. Oh, here comes the security systems. Adora!
Once again, I'm no one's horse.
I'm a free horse.
Yes, I can talk.
I'm so tired.
Your friends with Bow and Glimmer.
Everyone will be better off if I just stay far away from them.
But then how will you save people? This makes no sense. Well, that's stupid.
I've had the ability to form complex thought for like a week.
A week?
Bow and Glimmer are risking their lives. Not because you're She-Ra, but because you're their friend.
Exactly. The power of friendship out here, dude.
Adora!
Spiders! You think the first ones would have like a +1 system or something, you know? Where'd her sword go? She was just holding it. Okay, the fact that Swiftwind can, like, run with 3 people on? He's a strong horse, that's for sure. Yeah, this horse can fly with 3 people. There's just red lightning everywhere. No, like,
What do you think it's doing? I don't know, but I can work with it.
Alright, causing a little destruction here. We've also got to learn a little bit more about the first ones, Light Hope and, like, Etheria, I believe. Yes, Etheria is the world. And so the first ones came here and they just kind of, what is it called? Not cybernize. No. I can't remember what it's called, but like, it's when you go in onto a planet and you just, you know, use your technology, you turn into like a tech planet and just kind of like drain it of its, I forgot what the term is, but I'm just gonna write a couple of notes and we will be right back to the center. Yo, this fucking angle. This angle of just like at her forehead, but like looking downward. Looks like a 3D model, actually. Wait, Mara did what? So like the whole meteor thing that they've been kind of showing, you know, it's like Susan's comet or something. Stranded us in an empty dimension of Despandos. What does that mean? What do you mean she stranded you? She fucking put all you first ones into a spaceship and then just launched you out into a whole separate planet? So is this Etheria then? Like, and then these are all just like, I don't know, the many moons. I thought they only had 3 moons, but maybe this is the area of Despanda. I don't know. I'm not gonna think about it. Okay. Your friends are endangered by your presence, and it's just like, well, yeah, no fucking shit, but like at the same time, they're the one who's willing to put themselves in this situation, right? I suppose that's essentially what she learns from Swiftwind, the horse that can now fucking talk. He's learned English or whatever the language is here in Etheria. So good for him, you know, man's got a consciousness now, and he's just like, look, I've been thinking complex thoughts for the past week, and like, I can pretty much fucking figure this shit out. This is baby's game. So, very nice for Swiftwind to come back. But okay. Alright, so that was episode 12 of She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty good episode. We're still continuing on. This is a 4-parter now, so I really enjoy that where we're going on these long segments. And here in this episode, we've got to learn a little bit more about Light Hope, a little bit more about the first ones, but also learning about the world of Etheria as well. Also, you know, the little duty that She-Ra has to do, and and Light Hope talking about how Adora is like the first She-Ra in 1,000 years and all that, right? Very much reminiscence of the first Avatar, not like the first Avatar, but I'm talking about the Avatar: The Last Airbender. There you go, and how Aang was the first Avatar in like in the 100 years, and you know the Fire Nation tried to get rid of the lineage of avatars by wiping out the entire air nations and all that. It kind of gives off that vibes, although during the reaction I was thinking a little bit more about Korra. Right, in terms of like, wow, you know, it's kind of like Korra, except it wasn't Adora's fault. She just fell into it. But let us start at the beginning of all this, introduction of Light Hope, and as we kind of see with the chatbot from last episode, Light Hope is also an AI. Essentially, she was created by the first ones, right? She's the, she called herself the first Etheria's facilitators, somewhere around there, but she's just a little bit more of an advanced version of the chatbot that they've had before. As I've mentioned, I do enjoy characters like Light Hope, where, you know, they're a little robotic and they don't really understand human protocols, human custom and all that, so like they come off as a little odd. Again, I just really like these characters, reminding me of 2 specific characters from Persona 3. Am I saying her name incorrectly? Agnes? Is that what she is? She's the robot girl. I love her. And then it's the other woman from the Velvet Room, whose name I currently can't remember. Is it Elizabeth? It might be, but like I really enjoy those two characters, and that's what their type of archetype is for when it comes to someone like Lighthope. So very enjoyable. In the next scene, we've got Glimmer, who is worrying about where the heck Adora's been this whole time. You know, she's just gone out to training, and then, well, you know, if she were to follow what Lighthope wanted, it was going to be years before she fucking comes back. But as with during the whole conversations that Adora has with Lighthope, and you know, with Lighthope talking about how like you need to abandon your friends. We can't have that. Mara couldn't abandon her friends last time, and she almost fucking killed us. So like, don't make her mistakes, all right? Thank you. As I mentioned before, right? She is putting her friends in precarious situations, but because they are her friends, they are willing to put themselves in this precarious situation. And so Glimmer talks with Bow, and she wants to go and find him. Find Adora, and this is where we are introduced to Swiftwind. He is his own horse. He is no one's horses. He is Swiftwind. And his voice, just oddly enough, just reminds me of Donkey. But like Donkey from Shrek 2, when he gets hit with the fucking enchantment spell and he turns into a beautiful steed. That's why he reminds me of. And just the way that his voice is. But we learn from Swiftwind that ever since Adora changed him, he's able to feel where she is at all times. He just has the where's my phone app. And he's able to locate her at any time, anywhere. Maybe depends on the distance, but hey, maybe he can find her from across the entire world. Who knows? Although he did call himself her herd, right? As part of Adora's herd, I need your help. Okay. He's no one's horses, but he does have a herd, which, you know, herds are much better than the relationship of horses being in ranches and all that. You know, gotta let the horses pick their own herd, right? And here is Swiftwind, who has picked his own herd, and it's Adora's herd. Very fun for Swiftwind. So yeah, we've got Swiftwind, who wants to help these two, and as we're going to try to do that whole samey with Glimmer, like, I'm gonna sneak out, you know, my mom's gonna get mad at me later on, but whatever, I gotta go save Adora and all that. And then she sees Angela, and, you know, Angela kind of already knows, I mean, the amount of times that her daughter fucking sneaks out, like, of course she fucking knows at this point. And so, but the both of them have had talks with each other that they were willing to open with one another. So I'm glad that here's Angela being like, yeah, it's a fucking horse came in, like the guards showed you guys a horse. And I assume this horse is gonna, you know, you're gonna use this horse to go and find Adora because she hasn't been around in a while. Again, she just knows that, you know, you want to track down Adora, and I love that she's willing to accept that and let her daughter go, right? Allowing to put her trust in her daughter in hopes that she will come back to her and, you know, be alive as well, hopefully. So I like that. Angela mentions, right, I regretted giving up after your father died. I do not want you to go through that same regret as me, right? I have gone through the suffering and pain, so then you would be able to go through your life, hopefully, without the suffering that I've gone through. And hopefully that's like, you know, the ideal of every parent, especially people who didn't have a good childhood, who didn't have a good life. And hopefully if they ended up with kids on their own, right, that they're willing to be supportive and helpful of them and hopefully give them a better childhood. Instead of other people who would rather willingly drag other people straight back into like their traumatic childhood and all that. Anyways, where am I? I love the hug that they gave to each other. You know, the almost forehead touching. They're not technically touching foreheads, but, you know, they're close. Yeah, it's close enough, the forehead touching. I love that. And then, you know, puts back up her work face. You know, I'm the queen, so you're Commander Glimmer, and I order you to find Adora and bring her back home. I enjoy that. Very fun. I love to see their relationship, you know, continue to mend. Wait, hold on. I just want to see Angela's face. Yeah, that's all good. And then, like, this horse, what the fuck? And she's just like, oh my god, what is my daughter up to? Why is this horse here? Why can it talk? And then this motherfucker fucking coming in is just like, yo, can we talk about horse rights out here? Horses got feelings too. They don't deserve to be in ranches. Let them all free. And he says that ever since he's got his consciousness, and he's just like, I'm my own horse. Why are all these other horses free? So he's just been going from barn to barn, fucking kicking down doors. Is that what he's been doing? By the way, during Scorpia's introduction, there were a couple people who they had some concerns for Scorpia in the way that Scorpia is very touchy and she gets right into people's personal space, which I totally understand. It's like it's very much crossing people's boundaries, especially if that other person is just like, yo dog, I don't want you to be close to me, but then they're still doing it. I very much understand the issue there with Scorpia. I know that there are people who are indeed very touchy, but like, it's just how they are within their family pact with their friends and all that, and like, I kind of am able to discern that they're not really doing this in terms of like, for anything that's like sexually related, you know? Like, if they're just a really close-up type of person, I see that with Scorpia, and so I'm just kind of like, whatever, you know? But then you can kind of also see that Catra is trying to give Scorpia, yo dog, boundaries, right? 10 feet away from me. And Scorpia, right, she does have that in mind, but kind of like in the last episode where she gets into Catra's face because she sees that Catra's injured, so she's worried about her, right? What's going on? You need me to take you to the medical room to get a little first aid and all that, right? Before Catra had to remind her, yo, 10 feet apart, 10 inches apart. Not I don't know, 10 feet's a little long, but yo, fucking keep your distance, all right? Fucking if we can touch elbows, a little too close. Even though she's still kind of like getting a little close, maybe giving like Catra little hugs here and there. Just my own biasy, but that's just kind of how I see it with Scorpia. Like, she's not really doing it with bad intentions. That's for the most part what I'm gonna say, but there was this one scene and I kind of noticed it as like Catra is talking with Entrapta. Okay, so during this conversation, yeah, like she's just like, where'd you get this? And Entrapta's just like, I just got it from wherever, you know, from Rat Rooms, from this room. And so Catra just immediately goes up to and like touches her hair, right? Just fucking fingers right into her hair strands and everything. And now Entrapta is here, who doesn't really care. She also gets into people's personal space as well, kind of we saw last episode. After Catra scolded Scorpia, she turns around and immediately gets hit with Entrapta in her personal space. So like Entrapta kind of is like that too, but like she doesn't really have any malicious intent. It's just kind of the way that she functions. And then here's Catra, who's just combing her hair. And I'm just kind of like, okay, so this is, we're kind of getting to this point where it just looks like they're, for the most part, going into each other's personal boundaries. Even though Entrapta doesn't really care much about this, right? Touching somebody else's hair without asking. Especially putting your whole fucking fingers through there. That's a lot, you know? But even though I kept that sense, I don't really think too much about it because Entrapta is just like, whatever, I don't care. That's what it looks like. So, and then we still got the whole thing with Catra and Scorpia. Again, I feel like they are working on that. So, we'll just have to continue to see the whole thing between Catra and Scorpia. Entrapta mentions her theories about the first one machineries. Talk about like the compatibility between magic and science. And we've just got two dummies who are unable to understand what the hell Entrapta is talking about, you know, just one genius and in 2 rooms with 2 idiots. Though it doesn't really matter, the explanation all Catra really needed to know was whether the data is enough to upgrade the weapons. But as with what Entrapta says, right, this is much bigger than weapons. This could change everything because Etheria is not just a planet. It's literally a planet that the first one is just dug so fucking deep into. I'm surprised that this planet hasn't fucking collapsed from all the holes that it's got. But we kind of have this explanation being told through First Hope and also through Entrapta as well, which kind of goes to show how much of a genius Entrapta is, if this is her theory about the world, and you know, she wants to get in tap with like the first one text and everything, and in order to truly get into the first one text, you've got to get the runestones and you've got to hack the planet, as Entrapta says. To which Entrapta is like, you need a runestone, and here in Lighthope talks about how the princesses use the runestones to get their power. Doesn't Entrapta have her own runestones? But then, yeah, but then if she goes back to her place and with the rune stones, then she wouldn't have the technology of the Horde in order to do what she needs to do. So, okay. Their technology runs throughout the core, Entrapta says. The core of the planet. And then they got technology that runs and that like it goes through all like the runes, which kind of makes sense in like the way that we saw Frosta, I believe. Frosta was the one who was using the rune to, you know, put the get like the ice to go back up. I don't know if there's a rune in the tree of what is it? Perfuma. There you go, Perfuma. And then for Mamista, I don't remember if we've seen her crystal. Maybe when we were in the throne room, we might have seen her runestones. The runestone can't be where the fucking gate is. So it has to be somewhere like stuffed inside. You know what? It's like Final Fantasy with the crystals. Oh, the crystals, dude. Well, actually, it depends on which Final Fantasy we're talking about, huh? Again, everything on Etheria is connected, and the only way to restore balance on Etheria is to basically get rid of the Horde, because the Horde is just out here wiping the princesses out, and like with the princesses not there to maintain the rune stones somewhere around there, you know, the balance of the world goes a little haywire. Although I will admit, was the planet stabilized before the first ones came here, or did it destabilize because the first ones came here and then started to poke a bunch of holes into the planet and now they need rune stones and all that in order to keep the planet from what? Destabilizing or like from collapsing or something? I don't know. Kind of sounds like a problem that the first one created themselves. Anyways, the talk continues, and we've got a little spy that goes on over to Hordak. I thought it was just his child, but I'm starting to, I don't know, maybe it's a robot thing. Maybe it's just one of his spells, you know, his magic, that he's able to just capture people's recordings. But Hordak hears this, and he's just like, whoa, I can hack the planet with this? I can make my weapon strong with this? This is fucking great. Over at the Horde, they are working up the crystal thing, putting all the technology around the crystal, and then Shadow Weaver comes in, right? People are a little afraid, but here is Catra standing, her head up high, right? Instead of looking down and scared. and Shadow Weaver, she's like, oh, it'll be my pleasure to put you back in your place, right? And then here's Catra, it's just like, nah, dog. I've got authority this time, right? With a little smirk, saying like, hey, I can do whatever I want with this hunk of rock because I've got approval from Lord Hordak. So, fuck you, you know? Like, Hordak's just over here like, yo, this is some good shit. And I'm fucking tired of your shit, Shadow Weaver, alright? I gave you this fucking power and all you've been doing is just disobeying me and trying to get this fucking girl back. I don't care. I just want to take over the world. That's my whole fucking plan, you know? Lord Hordak, he just wants to do that. But he's just got incompetent people in the higher ranks for some reason. But this is his good move, you know, allowing Catra to do this and all that. Allowing Entrapta to do this, I mean. Good for them, but Shadow Weaver, she doesn't like this, so she breaks a lot of stuff and, you know, gets a little bit of power just to try and fight them all off. And as Shadow Weaver says, right, run, that's the only thing you're good at. You never really learn anything from me. And Catra returns that with, no, I have learned from you. I've learned how to fucking fight you. Alright, I've learned what your moves are and how to dodge your moves. Right, what your weakness is, essentially. Your weakness is literally right on her face. Or as Catra says, you were training me for this day. Which, my god, kind of reminds me of Catra and Adora themselves are kind of coming from an abusive home, but like if it were something like physical punishments, right? Physical punishments doesn't really work for kids because like the only thing that you're teaching them is how to hide their problems, so then they won't fucking tell you about it and you won't fucking hit them, right? You're not really teaching them that they shouldn't be doing these things. All you're really teaching them is that they need to shut the fuck up around you and continue doing the things that they're doing. That's Catra, essentially. I have a friend who had gone through a lot of physical punishment as a kid, and he won't admit to me that he was abused as a kid. He just says, oh, I got hit, I got hit. But, you know, now that I'm an adult, right, that there were moments where his dad would try to hit him, but because he is an adult and he now trains in martial arts and all that, right, he's able to fight his dad, or essentially just keep hold of him, because he still doesn't really hit his dad back or anything. He just holds the guy down and just, you know, tell him to fucking chill out. Stop being such a fucking asshole, and then that whole thing. And so that's sort of what it makes me think about. And with Catra saying, you've been training me for this day when I finally retaliate and fight back against you. You've shown me your move, you've shown me your cards, and I now know your trump card. Again, aka that giant glowing crystal that's on her face. Big oof, dude. Big oof. And we get to see Shadow Weaver in her most downtime, right? Her hair is down, her crystal is gone. She's collecting her crystal, trying to be like, please come back. You know, that reminds me of that mom from Tangled. When she's over here trying to grab the hair, like, no! God, look at this fucking smug face on Catra as she goes and tells Scorpia to restrain the sorceress. You know, at first, I was thinking about, like, okay, this looks like Catra's standing up to the man, you know, or standing up to the woman in this case. And she's finally gonna, you know, fight her fear of Shadow Weaver. Although, you know, she did see Shadow Weaver in, like, her moments of weakness and all that. And maybe at that time, Catra's just like, oh, she's just like me again. What a fucking idiot. But, yeah, this whole time, when Catra's just standing there and looking up at Shadow Weaver, I was just like, yeah, you fucking do it, Catra, you fucking go. And then Catra's just like, you want to know why I've got this attitude? Why I'm fucking showing you why I'm showing you up like this? Cause I got Lord Hordak's permission. Get fucking dunked on. And it's so funny because despite Catra acting all high and mighty and like, oh, I finally got the upper hand, she's still relying on someone. She's going past the manager and just straight to the fucking boss. I was a little deflated after she reveals that, yeah, you know, Lord Hordak gave me permission, that's why I'm acting all high and mighty. It's just kind of like, okay, she's not particularly standing up against the system, right? She's willing to play along with the system, and that's how she got back at Shadow Weaver. All right, unlike Adora, who has now left the system, and she's making her own path through the power that she's been given. Also, that reminds me. The whole thing about, like, the savior complex, you know, having a bit of a hero issue that Catra felt for Adora. She must have felt that 10 times more, knowing that, especially, you know, that finally clicked on me and why she held the sword. And she's just like, you know, the sword works for you, but it doesn't work for me. So it's like, literally, this sword is telling Catra, you are not the hero. Adora is. So, like, that pisses her off, and she's just like, this sucks. Kinda, that one clicks in my head now. But yeah, this part, she's still relying on somebody else. She's not standing up for Shadow Weaver. Although, you know, I suppose you can say her fighting Shadow Weaver and saying that, you know, I know your every move and all that. That's her standing up to Shadow Weaver. I can take that as a half-seas. Still relying on Lord Hordak, so. But the finale is slowly coming, as Entrapta uses her technology to just create all these red lightning and chaos, and this is happening throughout the entire planet because, as what we've learned, First One's tech is connected to every single part of the planet. Honestly, dude, it's just it really sounds like this planet could just easily fucking implode if we just accidentally destabilize the fucking planet, dude. But here in this part, Swiftwind comes in and interrupts Adora's conversation with Lighthope, although I wonder if she was actually getting anywhere with Lighthope. Lighthope was just like, nah, dude, toss your friends aside. We can't have you be like Mara, alright? I can't be sitting here for the next 1,000 years seeing that there's no She-Ra comes up, alright? I'm desperate. I'm lonely, alright? I've been watching you from afar. You know what's funny? Adora says it's as real, but like, it's not even real. She's technically still sleeping, so she technically has not seen First Hope IRL, albeit I don't know if you can see her IRL because she's an AI, but you know, whatever. Since you were an infant, I couldn't reach you and I couldn't protect you from the Horde. I watched you grow up from afar. Well, that's creepy. Creepy. I've been called this before. Who else called her creepy? Mara? Madame Raz? Anyways, going back to Swiftwind and all that. Swiftwind wants her to get the F out of here, or to also figure out how the heck to get out of here. But Adora says, if I leave here, I'll make things worse. She's right. Everyone will be better off if I stay far away from them. But then how are you supposed to save the planet if you stay far away from people? It's just like, how can you save the planet if you are unable to face the consequences? And also, like, if I stay here, like, look, they've got Entrapped out here. She doesn't know that, but they've got Entrapped out here who's just hacking into the fucking planet. And like, she's just gonna fucking blow up this world. By the time you get out, you probably can't, because Etheria's gone. It's for the greater good. And then Swiftwind's just like, well, that's fucking stupid. I've had the ability to think for like a week, and even I know you can't help by hiding. Where'd all the horses I'd freed be if I just sat in the pasture and mope? But yeah, it goes through this whole talk of like, I hurt people, I ruined my friends' lives, and then Swiftwind's like, well, if you ruin your friend's life, what the fuck are they coming to help you, huh? So let's get you the fuck on out of here. I will say, it's there's just something very fun about the rather simple thinking of Swiftwind. But if you really get into the little bit of complexity, like, what are those horses going to do now? Right? Like, you've broke them out of their ranch, and like, now they're just running out in the free area, you know, the free zone and all that. Actually, you know what? I'm not sure. Maybe horses will probably still be able to live by themselves. I would presume, right? Horses would still be able to live by themselves if they are abandoned. Kind of like dogs and cats, you know? They'll get by like the scrape of their teeth, but they'd probably still be alive. I suppose that's fine. But like, you know, in terms of like ranches and all that, right? If it's a good place and it's like an open field and everything, like horses, they get to live a pretty good life without being hunted by predators. And they basically get fed and all that. You know, I'm thinking about more about that. It's just like, okay, if you're just going around breaking into people's ranches and just letting the horses out, what are the horses going to do? Are they able to think for themselves, unlike you, who is able to speak English and all that? Or speak whatever language, Etherian, right? What are they supposed to do? It's kind of like a little bit of a dilemma of like, you've been a slave your whole entire life and you've only known how to take orders, and then somebody comes and liberate you, and they're just like, you're free now! Everybody's free in this country! You're not slaves anymore! But then you just fucking leave them, and it's like, well, what am I supposed to do now with this overwhelming freedom? It's a little bit too much. So like, when I'm thinking about that, you know, yeah, like Swiftwind, you might have to, I mean, that's why Swiftwind wants to talk to Angela, right? Horse rights and everything. Oh, yeah, that's why he wants to do that instead of just going around doing a little vigilante justice and all. Maybe he is thinking that far ahead. But the way that he talks about here is very simple, but I like it because it's simple and it will get through to Adora a whole lot better than someone like fucking First Hope just going through her fucking script. Adora eventually wakes up, calls for the honor of Grayskull, and beats down all these Spudas. Very spooky indeed. And as they go on up, you know, they realize that this world is it's a little fucky, you know. There's lightning all over the place, and Catra's just like, this is fucking chaos, but hell yeah, I can figure out how to deal with this. You know, maybe Catra's on the road to just destroying the fucking world. Might as well, you know, might as well. But we will just have to see how this finale is going to be. So very, very, very exciting. I don't know if I mention any other points that I wanted to talk about. I wrote some notes. I talk about a little bit about the runestones. Talk about She-Ra, the first ones, Light Hope, Etherian, all that. Yeah. Okay. I think I pretty much got what I wanted to cover, and if I didn't, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.